Hello everyone. Today we will learn about the array operations on vectors. So as usually we do, the whole window is divided into three sub window. In the middle part we have to perform the task, and on the left hand side we have given the task that the task is that add 1 to the each element of the vector v1. v1 is a vector which is already defined. If you want to evaluate, you want to see what is the data file, you can see in the workspace there is a data file which contains the 7 rows and 5 columns, which contains, if I double click here, then it will show the data. So it is a 7 rows and 4 columns which contains the numerical data. Now you can see, if you want to see the density function v1 v2, you can see these values by clicking on the v1. It is data, it is showing the same rows, 4 column, and v1 is the value which contains the third column. v2 is the vector which contains the fourth column of this data matrix. Now let's start the tasks. The task is that add 1 to each element of the vector v1. So what we will do, we will add just v1 equal to v1, this is vector, plus 1, and then store the result in a variable named as r. So we have to store this value into the variable name r. Let's submit it. So we will get the output in the workspace. Next, what we have to do, we have to create a vector vs which contains the sum of the vectors v1 and v2. vs is the sum of the vectors v1 and v2. So how we will do, the vector v1 and the vector v2, they are of the same dimension, then we can add the vector v1 plus v2 to get vector quantity v1 plus v2, which is a vector quantity. Now we have to evaluate sum. If we are doing v1 plus v2, then we are getting a vector which contains the component wise sum. Now we want to get the sum of the vectors v1 and v2, then this is vs equal to v1 plus v2. Just click submit button. So we will obtain the sum of two vectors, which is v1 and v2, which is will be the component wise addition. Task 3 is that create a variable va that contains the value vs divided by 2, the average volume. Means the vector vs, we will add all these components and we will divide by 2. Then how we will do, we use the command sum command for adding the component by sum. We a equal to sum of what variable, the variable is vs, then we get the sum of all the components and we will divide it by 2 to get the average volume. that the VA is correctly defined. It is VA equal to create a create a variable VA that contains the value VS divided by 2. Let's see the hint. Use the backslash operator. Make sure that you use the forward slash instead of the backward slash. Why is there a problem? Okay, we have to divide the component wise. The vector Vs is given and we have to divide each component by 2. So we will use Va equal to Vs dividing by 2. Again, I think that will give an error. No, it's correct. The next task. The basic statistical function in MATLAB can be applied to a vector to produce a single output. The maximum value of a vector can be determined by using the max function. If we use a vector and then we want to find out the maximum value of this vector, then we can use the maximum function. Uh, Create a variable VM that contains, we have to create a variable VM which contains the maximum value of the vector VA. So that will be equal to VA. Now it will calculate the maximum value of the vector VA. You can see from this the maximum value is 7.4406. So this is the maximum value we are getting. Click on the next task. We can also use, there are several mathematical operations, several functions which we can apply in the vectors. MATLAB has functions that perform the mathematical operations on the entire vector or array of values in a single command. You can use, for example, square root of x, then it will give the component wise uh, square root of element, each element of the vector. Using the command round function, create a variable named vr. We have to create a variable vr. So the vr is the variable vr. We have to create this variable which contains the rounded average volume. Rounded average volume. We are using the command round of va to get the value excluding the decimal part. For example, you can see in the third window, VA is 2.28774.4003 up to 4.8755. We are using the round command over VA to get this value VR, which gives only the integer part only 2, 4, 3, 6, 7, 6, 4. So this is the value which we will obtain after applying the round function. Means if it is the value, if after decimal point the number is 5 or more than 5, then it will increment by 1. Then the left digit will be increment by 1. You can see the fifth element is 7.4406, the sixth element is 5.9. So it will increment it, then it will become the 6. Instead of 5.9718, it will give 6. Next task is that the star operation performs the matrix multiplication. So if you use star to multiply the two equally sized vector, Since the inner dimension does not agree, then you will get an error. For example, if we are trying to multiply the vector which is in a row vector which contains the first element is 3 and second element is 4. Similarly, the second vector is 10 and 20. We are multiplying these two vectors, then it will give an error because matrix multiplication is not possible. For matrix multiplication, we require the mm, we require the dimension of first matrix which contains the number of columns should be equal to the number of rows of the last matrix. So which is not possible here. So dimension is not matching, so it will give an error. But we can multiply component wise multiplication we can do by using the star dot star. So then if we are using dot star, then we get the multiplication component wise. That is the first element will be 3 into 10, that is 30. Second element will be 4 into 20, that will be 80. So to multiply the component wise multiplication, we will apply dot star command instead of star. Star is basically used for the matrix multiplication, while dot star is used for the component wise multiplication. The task is that create a variable named mass. So we are trying to create a variable name whose name is mass that contains the element wise product of density and VA. So density is a vector and the VA is again a vector. You can see here VA is a vector of 7 rows, 1 column. Similarly, density is also a column vector which is 7 rows, 1 column, and VA is also of 7 rows, 1 column. They are of same dimension, so we can multiply them component wise. So to multiply component wise, we will do density dot star dot into star. Now V into A, VA, we will get the component wise multiplication of these two vectors. So we will get the component wise multiplication of these two vectors. The further task is that you have performed array operations with two array of the same size and a scalar and a array. There are other compatible sizes. For example, try the following: x is equal to this. If we are if we are typing this, let's try to do copy paste here, control V. What it will be? X is a 3 by 3 by 2 matrix which contains the 4 rows. For 4 rows, first row is 1 2, second row is 3 4, third row is 5 6, 7 row is 7 8. So it is a 4 by 2 matrix, and we are multiplying it 4 by 1 vector. To get the output, click on the run command. So we will obtain 4 rows, 2 column. You can see here X was 4 by 2 matrix which contains the first column vector is 1 3 5 7. The second column vector was 2 4 6 8, and we are multiplying this matrix component wise with the vector column vector 1 2 3 4. So when we are multiplying it, so the first column will multiply with the vector, and it will give the first column which will be 1 6 15 and 28. Then the second column of the matrix, which was 2 4 6 8, that was multiplied with 1 2 3 4 to get 2 8 18 and 32. 32. Let's move to the next chapter. Now, in this chapter, we are working on different functions. The size function can be applied to an array to produce a single output containing the array size. The size of x, if we are giving a matrix x is a matrix, and we are applying the size function, then it will be a vector quantity. It will be a row vector which contains the two elements. The first element will be the number of rows, and the second element will be the number of columns. For example, here data is a 7 by 4 matrix, and if we are applying the size function to calculate the size of the data, so let's try d size. This is the variable name that will store the size of the matrix data. Now what will be the output? It will be a row vector which contains two elements. The first element is the number of rows, that is 7, and the second element will be the number of columns, that will be the 4. You can see in the output command, you can see d size is a row vector with the first element is the number of rows and the second element is the number of columns. Now the size function can be applied to a matrix to produce either single output variable or two output variable. We will use square bracket to obtain more than one output. For example, we can use the x row comma x column equal to size of x. Then x row will store the number of rows and x column will store the number of columns of the matrix x. The task is given that create a variable dr and dc. Dr stand for the number of rows and dc stand for the number of columns. So we are defining a dr comma dc that will be equal to the size size of the matrix data. Now it will define, it will give the size will be stored in the two components. The number of rows will be stored in the dr and the number of columns will be stored in the dc. You can see in the output command, dr is the number of rows which was 7 and dc was the number of columns which is 4. So we can also uh, use the square bracket to get the separate number of rows and the number of columns instead of getting a row vector which was given by the size function. We can also find the maximum and minimum value. The maximum value of a vector and its the corresponding index value can be determined by using the max function. So if a matrix is given and we want to calculate the maximum value throughout the matrix, and also we want to calculate its index at which position this maximum value is there, then we can use the max function with the square bracket which contains the x max comma idx in the square bracket to get the maximum value and the index. So let's try create a variable vmax and ivmax. Vmax stands for the maximum value and ivmax stands for the index of the maximum value containing the maximum value of v2 vector. and the corresponding index value respectively. So let's do in the square bracket we define v max comma v max I v max. I v max stand for the index, and that will be equal to the max of the v2 vector v2. Now you can see v2 vector here. v2 vector is, you can see here, v2 vector is the fourth column. So this is the v2 vector. This is the fourth column of the data is the v2 vector. Now we have to calculate its maximum value. Now you can see its maximum value is 10.1570, and which is at the 1 2 3 4 5, which is at fifth place. So maximum value of v2 vector is 10.1570, and which is at fifth place. Now let's try what is the output. Just submit. Now you can see in the result the maximum value is 10.1570 and the index is 5. If we want to, if we don't want the other output, then we can use the tilde operation to avoid that output. For example, if you only need the second output from a function, for example, if you want only the index from a, if a matrix is given and we want the maximum value is present at which index, we don't want its maximum value, but we want the index throughout the matrix, or a vector, then we can avoid just by typing the tilde button for the maximum value inside the square bracket, and then we only get the second output. For example, the density equal to data colon 2, which contains only the second vector, second column of the data, and we are using tilde iv max equal to maximum of v2, then what will be the maximum? What will be the output? Now the density is the second column, and the maximum value is, you can say, 6.1100. This is the maximum value, and we want to calculate its index only, then it is at sixth place. Then to get the index only, we can use the tilde operation on the first vector inside the square bracket to get only the index. For example, we can use this, and we can also get its maximum value just by using that index of matrix. For example, we will try to copy it and paste here. So what will be the output? The first command is the density equal to data colon 2. So it will extract the second column. Now next maximum function v2, and inside the square bracket tilde comma iv max. So it will be the index only, which is at sixth position. Now we are providing, we are calculating the density at sixth position, which is 6.1100. So let's run to get the output. Now you can see the first command, which is in the tilde iv max, this gives only the maximum value. It's not giving me the maximum value. So now to get the maximum value, we are providing this index to this factor. So density, and we are providing the index which is, contains the maximum value. So the maximum value will be stored in the density max, and which is free. You can see the maximum value is, uh, wait a minute, the fifth index. what's happening here. Great, please. Let's start doing executing the statements one by one. Copy and paste here. Now what will this command do? It will extract the second column from the data, which is this. The second column will be this. Now let's see. Just click run command. Now it will be the second column. You can see 6.1100. So this is the second column. So we have extracted the second column from the data and it is stored in the density. So it is the density vector. Now the next command is doing, let's see what is v2. To check v2, just press v2 and run the command. It will be the fourth column of the data, because v2 is data colon comma 4. It will be the fourth column, which is this one, 0.5, 2.1328, 3.68, 5 up to 4.450. This is the fourth column. So you can see this is the fourth column, v2. Now if you want to calculate the index at which it contains the maximum value, now the maximum value is 10, which is at fifth position. Now let's calculate the index of the maximum value. So try to paste here. Now we just only want to calculate the index of the maximum value. Maximum value is 10.1570, which is at the fifth index. Now we will get only the index only instead of maximum value. So index is fifth. Now to get the maximum value of this, we can calculate max of index sorry, maximum value with the v2 of that index. Index is IV max. This is the, we can store it into the max v max. This is the variable which contains the maximum value of the v2, which will be 10.1570. What is this command is doing? On the right hand side, we are executing the command which gives the value which is at the fifth index. So at the fifth index is 10.1570 and that value is stored in vmax. So vmax is equal to 10.1570. If the next command is the density max equal to the density IV max. Let's try the copy and paste here. Now index, you can see the index is IV max is fifth. So what will it do? Density at the fifth place. So density at the fifth place is at 3. So it will give the density max will be 3. But this is not the maximum value, because the index IV max was 5. That was from the previous calculation, which was from the v2, and that was used here, and this will give the value at the fifth place, which will be 3. So don't need to panic that it is not giving the maximum value for the density, because that index was for v2. Now next section, we will move to the next chapter.
Suppose you're reading a friend or colleague's code and you encounter a function you haven't used before. When you want to learn more about MATLAB functions or capabilities, you can use the MATLAB documentation. You can access the documentation by clicking the Help button. Within the Help browser, you can browse or search for content. All MATLAB functions have a supporting documentation page. These pages include supported calling syntaxes, a description of those syntaxes, and examples. For instance, here you can see that you can call rand n with one input to create a square matrix, or with two inputs to create a non-square matrix, like a vector.
Click on the next command. The MATLAB documentation contains examples and the information that can help you when working on your own problems. Use the documentation for the RANDI to help complete the task below. So RANDI, this is the function. You can use the documentation file help command to get the help for this, and you can automatically do the work that you want to perform. So use the documentation for the RANDI to help complete the task. So what we will do to get the help, here is the documentation file or help file there. So to get, we have to use the dock help doc RANDI. So press enter, just run. So it will move to the next window, which contains the help, which shows you can search any function just by typing doc and the name of the command. So we have typed doc and the name of the function, that was RANDI. Now you can see here there are so many commands are given, syntax are given for RANDI, IMAX, IMAX comma n, IMAX size 1, size 2 up to size n, IMAX comma size, and the description is given x equal to RANDI IMAX returns a pseudo random scalar integer between 1 to IMAX. IMAX command returns a n by n matrix of pseudo integers that will drawn from the discrete uniform distribution on the interval 1 to IMAX. So you can get the help, and you can also, if you want to get the example, then you can see below r equal to RANDI 10 comma 5, then it will give you 5 cross 5 matrix, and the maximum uh, the entries will be integers that will vary from 1 to 10. The description is given above, and if you want to calculate some example, you want to see some examples, some demonstration, then you can see uh, there are lots of syntax and examples are given. You can see. Now the task is that create a matrix X that contains a random integer that contains a random integer in the range between 1 to 10, then, and that has 5 rows and 7 columns. So we want a matrix which contains the integers only, and whose minimum value will be 1 and the maximum value is 20. That is, the element range will be 1 to 20, and that has 5 rows and 7 columns. So now let's start to search that command, something command which contains this type. So that will return the pseudo scalar integer between 1 to max, but we want some restriction on the rows and column. So it will give the return n by n matrix. So it will also not satisfy. Now you can see here x equal to RANDI I max comma size returns an array where the size vector sz defines the size of the vector x. For example, RANDI 10 comma 3 to 5 returns a 3 by 4 array of pseudo integer between the 1 to 10. So we can use this command RANDI in the bracket we will take 20, and in the colon, in the square bracket, we will use the 5 comma 7, that will be for the 5 rows and 7 columns. So let's move to our taskbar, type RANDI. We have seen the command for this 20 comma square bracket, the how many rows? 5 rows. And how many columns? That will be the 7 columns. Now we will submit it to get the 5 row 7 column. The matrix we will obtain. What happened? Oh, that a matrix named X. We have to store it into the X. Let's store it into X equal to. Now we will click. Now you can see there are the commands that we have seen here. Their description we have seen here. Show X equal to RANDI I max comma size. So this is the example where which defines that it will return a 3 by 4 matrix, because this is the 3 rows and 4 columns, that will be the size of the matrix, and 10 will specify the range of the integers from 1 to 10. So RANDI 10 comma square bracket 3 comma 4 will be a 3 by 4 matrix which contains the integer elements whose value will vary from 1 to 10. Similarly, to get our results, we will use X equal to RANDI 20 comma square bracket 5 comma 7. So it will be 5 rows 7 column matrix which contains the element between 1 to 20, and that will be the integer. You can see here 5 rows 7 column, and all the elements are integer which contains the element from 1 to 20. Next task, that we can use the doc RANDI, and you can also open the documentation using the doc function. Try opening the documentation for RANDI, doc RANDI. So we have already seen this. Click on the next chapter. Now in this chapter we will know something, some commands about plotting of vectors of a matrix, 2D plot, 3D plot. Now two vectors of the same length can be plotted against each other using the plot function. So if x is a vector, y is a vector, x and y are of the same size, means 7 by 7. For example, x is a m rows, one column. Similarly, y is also a m rows, one column. If they are of same size, then we can plot them by using the command plot x comma y. Create a plot with a sample on the x-axis and mass 1 on the y-axis. Create a plot with a sample on the x-axis. So for sample, that we have already given the data file here. You can see in the workspace what is the data file, which is 7 rows 4 column, the same data which contained in the last section, 7 rows 4 column. 7 rows 4 column. Now sample equal to data column comma 1, which means this is the first column. So this is the first column. First column is stored in the sample, and the data column comma 2 equal to, so this is the second column which will be stored in the density, and v1 is the third column, and v2 is the fourth column. Now the sixth command is mass1 equal to density dot star v1, means we are multiplying the vector density, which is the second column, with the vector v1, which is third column, and we are using dot star, so they are multiplying component wise. So mass1 is again a 7 by 1 vector which contains the multiplication of second and third column. Similarly, mass 2 equal to density dot star v2. So density is the second column, and the v2 is fourth column. So second column and fourth column, they are multiplied component wise to get the mass 2. Now the task is that we have to plot so sample and mass 1 and sample is of all are of same size, so we can plot using the plot command. To we have to plot sample on the x-axis, so we will write plot on the x-axis, we will write sample sample, and on the second axis, which is in the y-axis, we will type mass 1. Now just submit. Now you can see in the editor, we are getting the output which contains the graph. So this is an x-axis which contains the sample data, and on the y-axis is contains the mass 1. So next, now the plot function accepts the additional argument. We can give some additional argument that allows to specify the color, comma, line style, marker style using different symbol in a single plot. So we can use this command. For example, if when we are using this command, so what it basically do, the plot comma x o comma y, so it will plot x y axis, and inside the double colon, r stand for the red line, and this is the red color. R stand for the red color, dash dash stand for the dotted line, and the o stand for the circle, that will be the marker. The command above plots a red, comma, dashed line with a circle as a marker. Now you can learn more about the symbol available in the documentation for the link specification, line specification. For example, when if we click, then we will obtain line specification. There are description where we have given the line style, marker symbol, color. There are different types of specifier line style are there. For example, when you use the dash command, then we obtain the solid line by default होती है. Whenever we will use the dash dash, then the line style will be the dashed line. Colon, when we use the colon, then the line style will be the dotted line. Uh, Dash dot, then it we will get the dash dotted line. There are markers which we can use here, the plus, circle, star, dot, cross, square, diamond, upward pointing triangle, backward, downward triangle, triangle, pentagonal, hexagonal. So these are the symbols that we have to use to get these types of marker type. And for color, these are the some specific colors that you can use. The R stand for the red, G stand for the green, B stand for the blue, C stand for the cyan, M stand for magenta, Y stand for yellow, K stand for black, and W stand for white. So these are the marker color styles that we can use. Length style, marker as marker color. Then we can also you can see there are lots of example also given. You can use, you can learn itself. These are the markers, different line style, different colors you can see. So let's move to our section. The command above, the task is that plot mass 2 at the y-axis against the sample x-axis. So we can use the command प्लॉट एक्स एक्सिस पे हमको डिफाइन करना है सैम्पल, सो SAMPLE. On y axis we have to define mass 2, and with the space it says that use the red star marker and no line in your output. So what we will do, line specification we have to give one, so we can use the red line, red color, star, it says that we have to no line in your plot only. use red star marker and no line in your plot. So how we will do, if we are typing this, then it will plot sample and mass with the red line specification. It will give the red line with the star marker. So you can see we have plotted sample on the x-axis and mass to on y-axis with the red marker. With the red marker, if we want to evaluate some line specification, then we can also do. If we use this dash, then we are getting the solid line. It will give the error because we are adding extra line. So this is the line specification that we have added. Just remove it. Move to the next task. If there are two diagrams, this is the first figure and this is the second figure, and if we want to add the first figure into the second figure, then we can use the hold on and hold off command. That is, if there are two functions and we want to plot on the both same functions, different function on the same plot. For example, f and g are the two functions and we want to plot both f and g in the same figure, then we can use the command hold on and hold off. So notice that each plot command create a separate plot. To plot one line on the top of another, use the hold on command to hold the previous plot while you add another line. Plot x1 y1, this will plot a diagram. Now hold on, plot x2 y2. Now what it will do, it will this second figure will be plotted on the first figure, and if we want not to add the third figure, then we have to use the hold off command. Task is enter the hold on command, uh, then plot mass 1 on the y-axis against the sample x-axis with the black square marker and no line. Let's do. We have plotted this figure with the sample on x-axis, mass on the y-axis with the red marker with red star, and we want to plot the next figure on the same diagram. Then we will use the command hold on. Now next, what we will do, we will use plot on the x-axis is sample, on y-axis it is mass 1, and now we have to specify the line with the black. For the black color, we will use K, and for the square we will use S square marker, and just submit. So you can see on the same figure we are getting the squares. You can see that was the first figure, and the second figure. In the second figure we have plotted the third figure, which contains the square marker with the black color. Let's zoom it. So you can notice this is the black square and this is the red star. So on the same figure we have plotted two different plots we have added on the same figure. So if we don't want to use that the third plot will be added in this, then we use the command hold off. Let's resize it. Next task. While the hold status is on, plot will continue to go on the same axis. So to return to the default plot behavior where each plot gets its own axis, then we have to use the hold off command. So let's type hold off when we are using the hold off command, and after that if we are plotting, then it will create a next plot. It will not be plotted in the previous plot. Next, when you plot a single vector by itself, MATLAB use the vector values as the y-axis and set the x-axis data randomly from 1 to n. So if y is a vector, v1 is a vector which was the third column, and we want to plot it, then what MATLAB do? MATLAB for the x-axis, it will take automatically random values and it will plot against v1. For example, if we are using plot v1 and then submit it, then the next plot, it will create the next plot, and you can see there it will take automatically the random numbers for the x-axis and it will plot against y value. We can also specify the line width, line specification, red color, which color, line size, line width, line style. The plot function accepts the additional inputs consisting of the property name and associated value. For example, plot y comma line width comma 5, then it will the line width will increase to the 5. Task is that plot v1 with the line width equal to 3. Then what we will do, we will just add plot y1 whole v1 with the line specification in the double inverted commas, line specification with the line, we will give the line width. So you can see by default here downward arrow line width, and we have to specify 3. Now this press. Now you can see the line specification in the previous command, in the previous plot v1, then this is the line width and we have specified the line width equal to 3. Then you can see the line width which in the is higher than the previous one. You can also provide additional input to the plot function after the line specification, line specifier. Plot x comma y, it will plot x and y axis with the red. This is the red color. O stand for the circle. This will be circle marker. Dash for the solid line, and we have defined the line width equal to 5. The task is that plot v1 on the y-axis along the sample x with the red color circle as a marker, and a line solid line, and with the line width equal to 4. So all these can be done in the single plot. Let's do it. Just type plot what we have to plot on the x-axis. We have to plot sample on x-axis, so we are typing sample. On the y-axis we want to type to plot v1 with the specification is with the line specification is R stand for the red color, O stand for the circle, and the dash stand for the solid line. With the line width with the line width the line width is 4. So we can do so many operations on a single plot within a single command. You can see you can see this is the diagram. We have plotted sample on x-axis, v1 on the y-axis with the red color circle as a marker, and the solid line is of line width is 4. Line width means uh, thickness of the line. Now label, we can also label can be added to the plot by using the plot annotation function such as the title. The input to this function is a string. String in MATLAB are enclosed in the double quotes. For example, title within the bracket enclosed double quotes plot title. So uh, it will give the plot title in the center of the top of the graph. Add the title sample mass to the existing plot. So what we'll do, we have given this is the plot we have already given. Now we have to give label, we have to add the sample mass as a title. So just we are typing title within the double quotes. We will type sample space mass. Now it will be in the center of the top of the figure. You can see in the center of the top of the figure, that is the sample mass. We can also label x-axis and y-axis. Use the y-label function to add the label mass in gram. So for y-label, we will use y label, and within the bracket what we have to type, the mass in gram. Mass within the bracket g. Now it will appear on the y-axis. For example, you can see the mass, it is appeared on the y-axis, and sample that was appeared on the center of the top of the figure. Now we can also label the x-axis by using the command x label. We can also add the legends, and we can give their name just by using the legend function. You can add a legend to your plot by using the legend function, legends within the quotes A, B, C. So for example, if it has 3 different data, then we have to give the 3 different inputs within the quotes. Create a legend with the label EXPA and EXP in that order. So to get in the same order, we will type legend 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 within the square bracket. The first is EXPA, capital का EXPA, comma, square bracket EXPB. Now click on the submit button. Now you can see in the figure the 2 legend will be added. You can see EXPA, that is for the square, and EXPB for the star, that is appear how you plot, whether you plot star first or square first, then it will appear in the order wise. The first plot, if it contains the first plot, you can see we have plotted the mass 1 for the square. It was for the first plot. For the square, it was the first plot, and the red star, that was on the second plot. So on the it will appear legend expa expb. So expa will stand for the first plot, which was the square, and expb for the red star. Exp for the red star. You can use a variable value in the plot annotating by concatenating a string with a variable. So if within the title we want to add some value, then we can use the concatenating command, string command. For example, bar plot, this will plot the bar data type, bar chart of the third row from the data. And if we have applied this title sample plus sample3, means it will take the third element of the sample and will be printed here plus data. So you can notice we just plot it, you can see the difference. You can see this is the bar plot, and we have tabbed in the title sample. So this will be the sample, and sample3, that will be the third element of the sample, third component of the sample vector plus data. So sample, third element of the sample, comma data. You can see sample, what is the value of sample, and its third element. You can see the third element of the sample is 19. So it will plot sample 19 data. Now we will do this project in the next video. Till then, bye bye, take care.